Welcome to the Bobtail Help Desk. This is a series of videos where we teach you how to start and run a successful trucking company. I'm Caroline, I'm the marketing manager here at Bobtail, and we offer a hassle-free factoring service with no long-term contracts and no hidden fees. We've been getting a lot of requests lately about how to start a trucking company. And so in this video, we're going to break down everything you need to know about starting a small business and some recommendations specific to the trucking industry. If you're an experienced trucking business owner, please consider leaving a comment with anything you think we missed or any additional advice you have for new trucking entrepreneurs. You can find even more detail on this subject in the blog I wrote for our website. Head on over to bobtail.com/blog for more information about starting a trucking business, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video. I need to start off with a disclaimer that this video is not a substitute for legal advice. If you're not sure how to start your business, you're not sure what all the requirements are, please seek out legal counsel or a legal service that can help you. With that being said, let's get into it. The first big decision you're going to make is choosing a legal structure for your company. We did a more in-depth video on this topic, so I'll link that below in the description. But as a summary, a legal structure is a classification for your business that determines tax and legal obligations. Here are the different types of legal structures that you have to choose from. This is not a full list of all of the options, but these are generally the most common. In short, remember that the trucking industry involves a lot of liability. Yes, you can protect yourself with good insurance, but having a structure like a corporation or an LLC that separates your personal liability from the company's liability is a good way to go. Once you've chosen a legal structure for your business, it's time to register and give it a name. But how do you choose a name for your trucking company? You may have been dreaming about this moment for many years, and you might already have a name in mind. But remember that there are almost 1 million motor carriers in the United States. That's a lot of competition. So you're going to want to pick a name that stands out from the crowd. How do you know if the name that you've chosen is unique? Well, you could do a quick Google search, or better yet, you can look up the name on a database like Safer or Cab Advantage. These databases offer information on all registered motor carriers, and you'll be able to search for your name to see if it's the same name as another carrier in their database. Also, choose a name that's relatively easy to pronounce and to remember. This usually means keeping it short. 3 to 4 words is recommended. And finally, and you know I have to say this as a marketer, every business has a brand, whether it's intentional or not. So when you're choosing a name, make sure you think of the different emotions, feelings, thoughts that you want to come to people's minds when they hear your business's name. Are you trying to evoke speed, efficiency, trustworthiness? In short, choose a name that matches the vision that you have for your company. Once you've registered your business, it's time to get an EIN or employer identification number. Even if you're not planning to employ anyone else in your company right now, it's important to get this number for your business because it will get you access to different financial services, and it's the identification number you'll use with the IRS to file taxes. We have a full guide to getting an EIN on our blog, so go check it out there. Also, as a new trucking company, you'll need different licenses and permits from the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration and other entities. These include a U.S. DOT number, which is your business's identification number for the U.S. Department of Transportation. This is where they'll file away all of the information about inspections and audits regarding safety. If you're planning on hauling across state lines, you'll need an operating authority or MC number. You can actually sign up for your US DOT and MC number at the same time. But make sure you do your research and do it right the first time because this application costs $300 and it's not refundable. Other obligations include signing up for the FMCSA's Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse and also getting a license under the International Fuel Tax Agreement, IFTA. IFTA simplifies the collection and payment of fuel taxes across U.S. states and bordering Canadian provinces. You'll also need to get commercial trucking insurance. There are a lot of different types: general liability, primary liability, physical damage, and more. When comparing prices of insurance plans, make sure you look at the total cost of each plan. Don't just choose the plan that looks the cheapest. This could be more expensive for your company in the long run. But there are ways that you can reduce the total cost of insurance. Generally, the more experienced your drivers are and the newer your equipment is, the lower your insurance cost will be. Managing your routes, like avoiding high population metro areas or avoiding areas with notoriously bad weather, can also reduce the cost of your insurance. Building your company's credit history can also help. You can do this by signing up for a fleet or fuel card. Some companies will allow you to pay upfront on a yearly or quarterly basis, which can also reduce rates. If you choose a plan with a high deductible, your monthly cost will be lower. However, this does mean that if an accident does occur, that you'll pay more out of pocket. We also highly recommend that any business owner open a business bank account. This not only separates your personal and business expenses, but it can also protect you from identity theft. To open a business bank account, you'll need your EIN, your articles of incorporation, ownership agreements, and your business license. We'll get into more detail about how to manage your business's finances in future videos. This next recommendation isn't necessarily a legal requirement, but we highly recommend that you prepare for tax season well in advance. Don't wait until the last minute. What you pay in taxes as a business is going to depend on a lot of different factors. Your legal structure, if you have employees, what municipality or state you live in. So please prepare in advance. You'll need to keep track of tax-deductible business expenses, things like equipment, tools, office supplies, fuel for getting to and from your truck, as well as insurance premiums, and also what you pay for a factoring service. Yes, even what you pay in factoring is a tax-deductible business expense. Because there are so many factors that go into how much you pay in taxes, we recommend you seek out an experienced tax professional, someone who has a lot of experience in the industry who can help guide you. Next is planning for compliance. There's a reason everyone talks about compliance in this industry. Keeping all their paperwork together and staying out of trouble with the DOT is many owner-operators and fleet managers' #1 priority. Compliance for carriers can mean many things. IFTA quarterly taxes, vehicle maintenance, CDL renewals, and more. Making and sticking to your compliance plan for keeping all your paperwork and processes in order is essential to being successful. Finally, it's important to remember that these legal requirements are not just set it and forget it tasks. If you have a hard time remembering dates and deadlines, we recommend putting together a business calendar with the next 2 years of deadlines that you have to meet. This way, you don't have to remember off the top of your head every single task you have to do to stay up to date. Once you have all these legal requirements taken care of, it's time for the fun stuff: buying or leasing a rig, booking loads, and getting on the road. I hope this video was helpful for those of you who are starting out in the trucking industry. If you have any questions about anything we've talked about in this video or about running a trucking business in general, please leave them in the comments below. We'll do more videos with your questions in mind. Also, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to our channel for more information about how to start and run a successful trucking business. See you in the next video.